daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Hello and welcome back to the Daily Southampton, part of the Global Sports Podcast Network. My name is Greg Elliott, and as always today, joined by my good friend, wonderful co-host, Zach Finch. How you doing, mate? You right?
Hello! The Great Plague has struck my household and apparently everybody that I know. So that's been fun. But other than that, like the football side of things is looking to be pretty good, isn't it? There's so much going on. I say there's so much going on. There's so much going on for us who spend all of our times attached to details around football, right? So, you know, that's been part of fun.
It's good. That's it. It's been a busy week. There's been some really good football and Champions League and stuff as well.
Look, mate, what's the point of watching it? It means it's irrelevant to us. And the fact that, I don't know, one of the only results I did see is, you know, I was talking to you about that little Armenian team like the other week that managed to win.
Yeah.
They won again, and I'm pretty sure it was against Copenhagen, which is where Elianusi is at. So there are still some like nice little pockets of the Champions League, which are what I can only describe as crazy. I don't know if it was Champions or I'm guessing, I think it was Champions, not Europa, but either way, like credit where credit's due. However, yeah, there's been other Championship football. Our bitter rivals didn't win, so that was nice, and lost the other day. So hopefully, you know, that will be an upward trend towards the next time we meet for the next South Coast derby, and actually, like, you know, do them in proper rather than, you know, what we've been doing so far.
Well, there was lots of talk on social media over the weekend about mind the gap, and now we're back above them already. So
look,
enjoy that brief period of the season where that happened, and
I guess people need to enjoy the small things in life, right? Like with us, enjoying like 5 minutes of the 90 minutes of football that took place most games last season, mate, and like the odd goal, or you know, even that one away win in Ivan Juric's reign, right, where Tor Paul scored some goals at Ipswich. Like, you have to take those small moments. However, I'd much prefer to be a club that is on the other end, right, where we get back to regularly. Is it too much to say we're close to regularly winning? Do you reckon we can manage 2 back-to-backs? Like, it's asking a lot.
No, you ask me that same question again this time next week, and we'll see. I don't know. I'm feeling positive heading into the weekend.
Shocker.
I feel like it's a good time. It's a good team to come up against at the right time, right? Like, it's a team that we probably should comfortably win, which off of the back of a not so comfortable win, it should be good. We should be putting these pieces together. Nice little bit of team bonding for the team in the week as well to help them gel.
I think for someone that constantly talks about the Championship being the best league in the world, and it's tough, you really need to get out the habit of saying that we should comfortably beat any team. because mate, that just isn't how it works. We should have comfortably beaten the whole City by your metrics. We were bad 3-1. So like, where I'm at is that whenever we go into a game like this, as much as I know that you want to be positive, and as much as there is positivity to be had, I really think you should step away from being like, well, it's Derby, isn't it? And even Nick, our wonderful, illustrious co-founder of the GSPN Global Sports Podcast Network, said in our crossover yesterday, right? Like, he was just like, yeah, you know, but then we are also really good at scoring that one goal that ruins your day. And I'm like, I could see that also being a thing unless we kill games off. So I'm fine and agree with you and all of the points you've made, mate. But I am going to start putting a hard line whenever you say that we have really beatable opposition, because that's what Derby probably, or whoever it was that like got beaten by Oxford County the other week, probably also thought, right? Just, if it's the best league in the world, mate, it's because every game is like a final. That's not true. I feel like Preston Stoke is never a final, but like, there we are.
Wow, just catching strays. You love to see it. Before we get into it and get to our predicted 11s, there's been a lot of talk that we need to address that. And I know that you hate it, and I'm not really a fan of it, but look, it is basically consumed my newsfeed. So we would be remiss not to talk about it. And that's James Ward-Prowse getting dropped at West Ham. So what do you think, mate? Should we bring him home?
So he's been a player from another club has been dropped. Yeah, okay. It's people might think that's disrespectful to a player that played for us for a long time. Yeah, that's fine, but he left our club, and it's not like I really think we need to get out of this habit of if any of the players that used to play for us struggle somewhere else, we should immediately throw a lifeline to them, right? Because the reason he left is he wanted to get back into the England squad, so he went to West Ham. He hasn't scored a free kick yet to beat his record that he's one off of in the Premier League, right? Which shows you that one of the few things that we really liked him for has completely dropped out of his game, right? One way or another. He then fell out of favour and went on loan to Nottingham Forest, where he spent 6 months struggling to break into their team. I remember
Nuno there didn't rate him, and now Nuno taking over is the
reason
he
also I remember at one point got quite early on into that season got a red card that then got him a ban for a little bit, and I think after that other people took his place. He came back to West Ham, and he was integral to sort of Potter's tactics that
he's a vice
didn't
captain.
work. Yeah, exactly. Did not work. And Nuno's come back in and been like, you're good for the dressing room, which I'm pretty sure is what you said about Forest, right? Which is why potentially Forest wanted to keep him for the rest of that season. But ultimately, he's been dropped. What I cannot understand is that where we think he's fitting in, who he's supposedly better than, and is it just this past obsession with players? Because we've already discussed, we'd have Remy back. Probably would, to be fair, because I don't really think we should have ever let him go. I don't think we should have let Prowse go, but I also don't think that we're going to get the same player we had 2 years ago. That's the other problem, is that people forget that time elapses. When time elapses, things change. I would have loved to have had Ben Brereton Diaz in prime Blackburn days. The problem is we got Ben Brereton Diaz after getting relegated with Sheffield United whilst on loan from Villarreal, right? And that's the problem, is that you will currently be picking up a player that's pretty bereft of confidence after being dropped, and also a player that, judging by the fact that the last time we thought we were going to bring him home, he went on loan to another Premier League team because that's where he wants to be. Because remember, if he wants any hope of getting back into the England setup or beating that record, he's going to need to stay in the Premier League. I wouldn't be surprised if you see him end up going on loan to Sunderland. That is far more likely to me than him coming back here. And if he comes back, I wouldn't be like, oh no, this is an awful decision. But I do struggle to understand where he's going to go in. And I know a lot of people are probably going to say off the back of this, well, he could comfortably go into our first team. Okay, make that argument for me.
Yeah.
The team is doing well.
No, look, I think I'm in agreement with you. Even when he was with us and he was good for us, he still had a lot of sideways and backwards in his game that used to really wind me up. And I don't think it necessarily suits the system we play at the moment. Him as a player definitely doesn't. And if it does happen, and his astronomical wages, he decides, I don't want to make any money, I'll just come back for 50p a week because I want to finish off my time at Southampton and play for the badge, and he wants to come in and be a rotation player for no money. Sure, great.
Yeah,
and
that's just not the reality of it.
And that led to him, breaking the free kick record in a Saints shirt. Fantastic. But it's just, I don't ever see that happening. That's not the way it's playing out. There's no scenario where that's what he wants. So it's not going to work out. Like you say, he doesn't. I don't think he makes it into our first 11 against with the players we've got.
Again, it might be disrespectful, and people might think, okay, well, yeah, no, actually, I think he goes in straight away. And everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's just that for me, you're looking at where he's at, where our current players are at, what they're trying to build. I just don't, other than it being a fan signing for someone, as you pointed out, you could get for cheap. Okay, I think maybe it would improve the morale of the fan base. Other than that, it's there's not. It's bizarre. It's when we were maybe we bring Oxlade-Chamberlain in because he's a free agent. Why? Because he played for us years ago. It's such a strange thing. It's the same thing with Ings again. You went to Sheffield United, but people, when he was a free agent, were wow, we should be picking up Danny Ings straight away. And I'm we're trying to cling on to what the past was. That just isn't how it is anymore. We need to start thinking of what Southampton are for the future. And again, like we're just as bad. Like I know we're nostalgia bait half the time. Like God, most of we got so many episodes about the last decade of being at Saints and the best players we've ever had, and talking about Tadic and talking about James Ward-Prowse and his amazing free kicks and this, that, and the other. But at the same time, like the reality of the situation on the ground is that, well, we can't just pick up players that used to play for us every time they go through a struggle in their career, because I know that's probably going to wind some people up. Like I get that.
Look, I understand that, and obviously it's slightly different because it's Ward-Prowse, right? And he is not just like some player that used to play for us.
Yeah, it's not like
for a number of years he was Mr. Southampton, so I get it, but also I don't see it. You're right. He'll end up somewhere else on loan. More power to him. I hope that he does well. I don't want to see him.
No, it's not. It's not. I don't want to see him struggle either. It's not like I'm not one of those people where like people already get on the back of Diblin for going and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, it's all right to recognise that a lot of the players that have left us, bar maybe Matty Fernandez, are currently sat at the bench a lot. Right, that's completely acceptable to recognise and be like, oh, they made their bed and lie in it. There's no loyalty in football, and I'm like, well, no, there's not, because it's about ultimately getting the best wage and playing the best competitions, this thing and other. That's just how it is. And he was loyal to us for a long, long time. And he went with a specific purpose and specific reasons. I don't think that he's just gone, well, that didn't work out, better sling the hook back to Southampton. And also, I don't think you take a massive wage cut for that reason. It's not like he's at the end of his career. It's not like when we took Theo Walcott, when we took Adam Lallana. Like the Lallana thing clearly looks like the coaching was built into it from the start, right? There was never really a plan for him to be there forever as a player, right? Unless you've got something like that built in. I just don't see it being the case. And also, I just don't think he's going to want to leave the Premier League, because that is literally why he left us last time. So there's just a lot of my opinions. It's done right. Yeah. There's actually a game Saturday. We should talk about that.
All right. Let's move on to players that will be in our starting 11. But first, mate, let's have a break and hear a message from our partners at Bioniq.
Your body is unique. And Global Sports Podcast Network has partnered with Bioniq, the world's most personalised supplements. Bioniq provide 100% tailor-made supplements designed to deliver precisely what your body needs at exactly the right levels to optimise your health. No guessing. So click the link in the show notes. Use the code GSPN2025 for 40% off your first month's subscription. Bioniq. Don't settle for off-the-shelf solutions made for just anybody. Get what's right for you right now.
Okay, mate, and we are back. You're right. As game, let's get to it. Who's going to be in the starting 11? Short segment from me. I want to see no changes.
So you're happy now to stick with the McCarthy is now our main keeper for the time being. You say that, but then also if I told you Basil McCarthy, you'd probably go, well, Brazulu.
No, look, whatever.
If we now just accepted, it'll be what it'll be. Is that where you're at, goalkeeper?
Look, I'm just tired of the conversation. I think that they are both as good of goalkeepers as we are going to get for the rest of the season. And one way or another, they will or won't save the shots. Right?
I agree with you. And to put it to bed, I actually think that you had the most common sense and logical approach when we talked about it over the transfer window, where if we had sold Ramsdale, it'd be a bit different, but we didn't. So because he's on loan, we're stuck between, do we want at one point, maybe next season, 4 to 5 keepers? No. So it is what it is.
Yeah, and look, I mean, I can't decisively say that the goal that Sheffield United scored was Alex McCarthy's fault. It might have just been a coincidence that it also went in at his near post, like all of the goals he concedes. But it definitely wasn't strong enough to say Baz would have saved that. And so, you know, the same logic as Tuesday is you stick by that decision that you think he's your number one keeper and roll with it. So you can't just keep chopping and changing. If he's our number one keeper and that's the decision, fine. I've made peace with it for now.
Peace with it until he makes an absolute howl and we lose a game, probably, right?
Yeah, almost definitely.
Okay.
And that will happen. But to be fair, that would also happen if we had Baz in goal at some point. It's the unfortunate tale of the season, I think. The unfortunate position we're in.
You're right. So, unchanges. Let's talk about the places we could potentially change. I've seen a lot of talk about Quashi and people not having a lot of trust in him and him being sort of the weaker of the three and people wanting to see him switched out. You're not feeling the same?
No, I think he was fine.
Good.
There were some moments of doubt, right? But also, he is a young player, and you only get more used to it by playing more in that partnership. If that's the defensive partnership we want to go by, then you need the minutes of them gelling together. And again, you don't, when it comes to that back, definitely the back three and the goalkeeper, you don't want to be having to chop and change that every week. You want a real solid base who understand each other. And when it comes to the wing backs who are going to be doing a lot more running and stuff, I think rotation is fine. But really, that base, you want to be completely the same.
Okay. Manning was looking leggy, mate.
Yeah.
So you don't think maybe Shaler gets a go? Or do you think if he's fit, Manning will start?
I think Manning will start. I think we might see an earlier change because he was notably tired towards the end of the game, but I think Manning will probably start.
Okay. And you'd keep Finn Azaz on the pitch as well?
That's probably
the only thing I knew that you would probably be like, eh.
Yeah. I wouldn't be upset with starting Ryan Fraser in that position.
I mean...
And I don't know if that would be the name on everybody else's lips either to fill in that number 10 role.
I don't think so, but also he's just been putting in performances wherever they've stuck him, really.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of not...
Literally that. Like, just the energy that he brings onto the pitch is unbelievable. And, yeah, if you're going to slot him in anywhere, I think that there's the place for it because I'd like to see him as number 10 with Fellows out on the right. I think that should work nicely.
And obviously, Will Still in his conversation about, because he didn't give a proper press conference, but did talk about this like weird training camp they've gone on, right? Where basically it's like, for me, it's a recognition of we need to be better than where we are. Do you guys need to spend a week just actually doing your job non-stop so we can get to that place? And it kind of feels like that's the case because it's like him literally saying, I don't mean to be a ball ache, but this needs to be done. For me, is very telling because it's like recognizing that, hey, I know that none of you really want to be here, but also you're paid a lot of money. And where we're at isn't where any of you said you wanted to be in your ambition meetings when you
I think that's a slightly cynical approach and viewpoint on it. Maybe a more fair analysis would be that we didn't really have a proper pre-season camp this year. We did have the small week away in Spain, but also like half of the players who went on that pre-season camp have left. And half of the players who are in our squad have been brought in since that. So this is an opportunity to sort of fill that gap and have that togetherness and do the training and go to St George's Park and use the England facilities, which is great. Like that's always like a bit of a morale boost as well. Just I think it's nice. It's good to see the team doing that, and but yeah, it's all right.
The other thing I wanted to address, Greg, is that Jack Stevens was on the touchline the other day. We didn't even talk about that. We kind of skipped over that whole thing because we thought it was a bit nonsense. But he was out. He was out for injury.
He rolled his ankle in training and wasn't able to be on the bench. But did manage to do the running after the game, but it's because the ankle's swollen and he can't turn on it.
I mean, either way, my point is that if it was to do with a clash, to do with some massive internal fight that's going on that a lot of people said was going on, don't think he'd have been on the touchline with the manager.
No, I fully agree with that.
So
Look, it just absolutely put into bed that it was
good.
absolute nonsense that it would ever be about us. But you're right. I actually think the point you were trying to get to with Will Steele's words in the Echo was that Ross Stewart's going to play 105 minutes this Saturday.
Yeah, no, that's because that's what we talked about. We talked about that earlier today off air. Yeah, you're right. Ross Stewart, 105 minutes now. He's managed about an extra 15 minutes each time, so that means that now he's fit for a full game and then some.
Yeah, I don't know if that's quite how it works, but you can't. You can drop him or Armour at least at the start of the game. He may only make it 60, 50 minutes into the game because 3 games in a week after coming back might be really rough. But also, he's got a full international break to rest up afterwards. So if you're going to push him, this is the game to do it. And I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it is kind of the system all the way through the team, right? And him and Armour are the people who have scored goals in the last 2 games. We'll just blank the penalty. Don't worry about that.
I just can't get over him making more of a joke out of it than anyone else really took the bite out of it for me. Like I'd love to be mad, but clearly he got in there and was like, "Yeah, I messed that up, didn't I?" So I agree. You know, it's what it is.
Yeah. What would be interesting is if we win a penalty on Saturday, who takes it?
Yeah, no, you're right. I can promise I could do it next time with asking boss. It's very, very Bruno Fernandes, probably like score one, miss one, score one, miss one. Maybe it would be like that. But
based off that logic for me, you know, it ain't broke, don't fix it. As close to the starting 11 of Tuesday as possible, but probably changes earlier on than you'd think. And, you know, like I say, there are a couple of places that I could see swapped, like say, Azaz, Manning, are potentials, but the rest of it, the core, has got to be exactly the same for me.
Okay, that's cool. It sounds like we're getting there. We just need the result to prove that we're getting there, not the result to say, turns out they had like well too many curries while they were away up in Sheffield and completely forgot there was football to be had. But by the sounds of the training they're going through, I think they'll definitely know they've got a game coming up. So very, very much excited for it to crack on.
Long gone are the days of pre-season camps being old jollies and benders. That's a thing of the past, I think. But you're right. Building towards like some sort of consistency means we're going to have to come up with something different for segment 2 of our match previews because that's going to get real boring, isn't it? Yeah, just the same 11 as last week. They won. Why change?
I think that it says it all that has been a part of our match previews for so long, including under Russell Martin, that we're like, wow, we obviously need to change the entire squad around because this squad ain't working. And it's been like that for so long. It's like, a team that's the same 2 games in a row. Insanity.
Madness. Right, mate. We'll revisit our score predictions from yesterday and see if that's still how we're feeling after a day of ruminating on it. But first, let's have a little break and have a message from our partners at Zencastr. Here at the Global Sports Podcast Network, we spent a lot of time selecting our delivery platform. Zencastr came out the clear winner. With 4K video recording from your phone and AI editing that automatically removes all those ums and ahs, it's super easy to start podcasts. It sounds great and is delivered efficiently. If you're ready to tell your story, check out the link in the show description and learn more about Zencastr. All right, mate, you said 2-1 yesterday, if I recall correctly. Is that still how you feeling?
Maybe 3-1. Let's go with 3-1 because 3-1 is us putting the game to bed, right?
Yeah.
At least by our standards. And I think we just need to do that because I don't think that another 2-1 win, regardless of the fact it's a win, quietens down the noise, right? And I think that people will still be, well, like, oh, we got away with that one. And it will feel like that, right? Because if we score it last minute, it's going to feel like, you know, it's like, oh, we got away with that. If we score it in the 45th after scoring a goal at the beginning of the game and then they peg one back, we're going to be sat on that. I just would like to be in a position where we score 3 goals in the league and there is at least that cushion between us and Derby. I still think they'll probably end up scoring off of a fluke goal, especially considering the track record of recent games. But if we can put it to bed, it's fine. So there you go, Greg. The optimism you've got, The caffeine in my bloodstream, everything else in the world means that I am hoping for a 3-1 win on Saturday.
3-1. Well, look, I can't remember exactly what I said yesterday. I can't remember if I said 2-1 or 3-1. I think I was stuck between the two, but I've just got a feeling about a clean sheet. I don't know, feel it coming. So I mean, 4-0. Let's go for it.
I predict 3, so you have to at least be slightly more optimistic than me.
That's it. Yeah, I've got to keep the average up. Yeah, look, I mean, Roster with 2, Armour with 1, and then Tom Fellows to get his first goal in a Saints shirt.
It's great how often you keep saying Tom Fellows is going to score. You have predicted him to score to every single game thus far, and you still haven't got your wish.
But when it comes true, mate, it's that one clip that everyone remembers when I predict it correctly. That's all that matters.
That's all that matters. Not the wonderful listeners, mate, who listen to us day in, day out, that see that on social media and be like, that bloke's been saying he's going to score every game for the last 6 months.
Well, no, that too, because that just shows my consistent belief in our team. It's going to happen.
Sure,
it's going to happen soon.
Consistent beliefs, or whatever you pointed out yesterday, that like the law of averages is, where if you just say something enough, it's eventually going to happen. If I say that he is going to score a goal in a Saints shirt every day for the next year, eventually he might do it.
That's it, mate. But look, that is all we've got time for today. Thank you, Zach, for joining me. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Let us know in the comments your score predictions. How optimistic are you feeling? Hopefully as optimistic as me. Let's have a great weekend. Let us know. We're on all of the social medias. Hit us up on Facebook, X, Blue Sky, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, everywhere. Let us know. We love hearing from you. Regardless of the outcome, though, we will be back Monday to talk about it in painstaking detail. I can't wait. I look forward to it. So until then, we hope you all have a great weekend. And come on, Saints. Another nice win heading into that international break.
Your daily soccer podcast with the Global Sports Podcast Network.